When thinking of adjectives for the spy, off the top of most people's heads, a lot of negative ones come to mind. I mean, he's smelly, he's French, he smokes like 6 packs of cigarettes an hour. Did I say he's French? I mean, the spy is inherently annoying. Just insta-dead, never had a chance to see it coming, dead rings after taking 2 damage and manages to get away from being an idiot, or you get face stabbed. Although, what you see on your screen is not in fact reality. There are 2 sides to every firefight, and then there's what the server sees. Face stabs are generally the result of the spy who killed you having a faster connection to the server than you do. Meaning either the spy is able to tell the server he backstabbed you faster than you're able to tell the server that you turned around, or the server outright lied to you by telling you the spy was in your field of view when he really wasn't. Ever been killed by a heavy minigun around a corner? Face stabs are the exact same thing, and all these phenomena are the result of the server's best efforts to compensate for the different amounts of time between when players are able to send and receive information to and from the server, commonly referred to as lag compensation. Believe me, I know full well the spy is by nature annoying, but there's one weapon in the spy's arsenal that manages to take everything that people find annoying about the spy and crank it up to 1,000. That would be this thing. The Diamondback, if you have somehow not yet been subjected to its bullshit, is a revolver for the spy that stores crits up every time you backstab someone or sap a building. You know, what you should be doing in the first place. You are rewarded with ambassador damage crits without having to aim for the head and without a cooldown between crits, while still firing at the same speed as the stock revolver. Basically, if the other team has a bad engineer or a couple of bad players in general, it can get pretty brutal pretty fast. Now I know what you're thinking. The Diamondback isn't overpowered, Dr. Danfax. The Frontier Justice operates on a very similar premise, you dumbass. You know what? You have a legitimate point here, one of which I am not qualified enough to explain. To accurately compare the Diamondback and the Frontier Justice, we're going to have to consult our certified engineer main, Googly and Moogly.
The Frontier Justice is a shotgun for the engineer that gives him 2 crits for every kill and 1 crit for every assist his sentry gun gets before it's destroyed. To compensate for these free crits, the Frontier Justice doesn't get random crits. It has half the clip size of the stock shotgun.
So, I've heard the argument that the Diamondback isn't overpowered because the Frontier Justice functions on a similar premise. Your thoughts, certified engineer main?
Well, it's kind of 50-50. It's a little overpowered, but sometimes if you don't know how to use it, it's a detriment, so...
Indeed. And my point relating to what you said would be how difficult it is to get a sentry kill versus a backstab.
I would say it's a little more difficult typically to get sentry kills. Backstab is just an easy click on an unaware suspect, maybe someone who's idle or doesn't know what they're doing. But same can be said about sentry guns, but...
True, but overall, assuming the skill level of the engineer and spy are the same, a backstab would be easier than a sentry kill, I would assume.
Correct.
Another thing is about the fact that the Frontier Justice is a shotgun, and it's going to do a full critical blast at close to mid-range, and at long range it's kind of pitiful.
Definitely a close quarters weapon. Don't want to go sniping with the Frontier Justice. If you keep yourself in smaller confined areas or with your team so you don't have to put yourself in long range engagements, it's definitely going to be a big bonus to do a whole lot of damage.
Yeah, it's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage.
Indeed. And speaking of a lot of damage, it doesn't matter the range you shoot the Diamondback at, it will still do 102 damage. That's the big thing.
Correct. The Diamondback does not have damage fall off. And firing crits, that's a big advantage.
Indeed. And, you know, they just changed the ambassador to have that, but not the Diamondback for, you know, good reasons, right? Good reasons.
Very good reasons. We all know that Valve is always invested not just in our money, but in our gameplay experience, and it shows.
Indeed. Alright. Thank you, certified engineer man. This is definitely an enlightening perspective. We'll be right back after these messages from Bidford Tools.
A dispenser.
There is a reason that the Diamondback is banned in Highlander, yet the Frontier Justice is allowed. It's because, although they share a similar mechanic and playstyle, they are not used by the same class, are different types of weapons, and the only common drawback they have is no random critical hits. So, The goal of this video is to rework the Diamondback in a way that it is both fun for the person using it and not absolutely infuriating to play against. Me personally, I've always wanted some kind of anti-NG revolver, specifically anti-building. So I would make it so that the Diamondback ignores the damage resistance of sentries with your sapper on them. I'd keep the current damage penalty, but I mean, hell, you might as well let it do random crits. I mean, why not? If you still want the Diamondback to be a crit gimmick, then just make it do mini crits. I'm a much bigger fan of the first idea, but if you insist on the spy having a revolver that rewards him for what he should be doing anyway, let's at least meet halfway and agree that it shouldn't be as significant of a reward as it is. You've got the potential to take this revolver that is currently one of the most annoying things the spy can use and craft it into another utility revolver, which I'm always a big fan of. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the Diamondback. Leave me a comment. I'd love to have a discussion with everyone so we can get the Diamondback in a spot where it's not infuriating to play against, but it's still fun for the person playing with it. Also, before I go, a quick shameless plug. I'm taking questions for a Q&A video that will be uploaded here sometime before the universe explodes. And I've created a Steam group. The link to join it is in the description. But for now, I'd like to say thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.